DeSantis Reedy Creek Board says Disney stripped its power. Gov. Ron DeSantis' hand-picked board overseeing Disney World's government services is gearing up for a potential legal battle over a 30-year development agreement they say effectively renders them powerless to manage the entertainment giant's future growth in Central Florida. Ahead of an expected state takeover, the Walt Disney Co. quietly pushed through the pact and restrictive covenants that would tie the hands of future board members for decades, according to a legal presentation by the district's lawyers on Wednesday. The Central Florida Tourism Oversight District's new Board of Supervisors voted to bring in outside legal firepower to examine the agreement, including a conservative Washington, D.C., law firm that has defended several of DeSantis' culture war priorities. "We're going to have to deal with it and correct it," board member Brian Ongst Jr. said. "It's a subversion of the will of the voters and the legislature and the governor. It completely circumvents the authority of this board to govern." Disney defended its actions. "All agreements signed between Disney and the district were appropriate and were discussed and approved in open, noticed public forums in compliance with Florida's government in the Sunshine Law," an unsigned company statement read. Taryn Fenska, a DeSantis spokeswoman, called the move last-ditch efforts to transfer rights and authorities from the district to Disney. An initial review suggests these agreements may have significant legal infirmities that would render the contracts void as a matter of law, Fenska said in a prepared statement. "We are pleased the new governor-appointed board retained multiple financial and legal firms to conduct audits and investigate Disney's past behavior." The previous board, which was known as the Reedy Creek Improvement District and controlled by Disney, approved the agreement on February 8, the day before the Florida House voted to put the governor in charge. Board members held a public meeting that day but spent little time discussing the document before unanimously approving it in a brief meeting. DeSantis replaced those Disney-allied board members with 5 Republicans on February 27, who discovered the binding agreement the previous board approved. DeSantis and Disney clashed over the corporation's opposition to what critics call the Don't Say Gay law, which limits classroom instruction on sexual orientation and gender identity in public schools. The new DeSantis-aligned board expressed dismay over the previous board's actions. "This essentially makes Disney the government," board member Ron Perry said. "This board loses, for practical purposes, the majority of its ability to do anything beyond maintain the roads and maintain basic infrastructure." Among other things, a declaration of restrictive covenants spells out that the district is barred from using the Disney name without the corporation's approval or fanciful characters such as Mickey Mouse. That declaration is valid until 21 years after the death of the last survivor of the descendants of King Charles III, King of England, if it is deemed to violate rules against perpetuity, according to the document. A development agreement allows Disney to build projects at the highest density and the right to sell or assign those development rights to other district landowners without the board having any say, according to the presentation by the district's new special legal counsel.